Hello, we'll try again. Manchester United fans, it is Mark Goldbridge, this is the United Stand, and we're here to talk about the Antoine Griezmann meltdown on Twitter that many of you want me to talk about. What are my thoughts in relation to it? Well, I'm not... Look, there's always two sides to a coin. If for anybody who's missed it, there's already a story of events in relation to this today, which is that this morning Atletico Madrid had their transfer ban upheld, which means they can't sign any players this summer. However, that doesn't mean that we can't sign Antoine Griezmann or any player from Atletico Madrid for that reason. There is no reason for us to stop us doing that. There's a buyout clause. I don't need to go into the technicalities of it. I did that yesterday, but we can definitely sign him for Manchester United. There is that thing that I touched on last night. I'm still 95% higher than that Griezmann will come. But what I did say is there's a moral question here, that has Griezmann got a guilt conscience and felt, well, look, Atletico Madrid have done a lot for me. They can't resign a replacement for me, and I owe it to them to stay. If that happens, I'd sort of applaud him morally, although I'd be gutted because I want him to come to Manchester United. But then it's followed up at 11 o'clock or around 11 o'clock by a number of media outlets saying, notably the BBC, who are normally quite good, saying that Manchester United have cooled their interest in Antoine Griezmann, which I wouldn't really understand as to why that was. I don't understand. I mean, apparently it's something to do with the fact that because Zlatan's got an injury, that we would be looking to bring in a number 9 instead of a number 10. A number 10 is not a priority. Well, if you watch Manchester United last season with us or with yourselves, then a number 10 is an absolute must for Manchester United this summer. We need a number 10. Rooney's not stood up to the plate. I don't think Mkhitaryan and Mata really have either. And Manchester... We're not Arsenal, we're not Chelsea. I am back. Hopefully it's back working okay. We're not Arsenal, we're not Chelsea. So, no, actually, Chelsea have got a little bit of money. We're not Arsenal, we're not Liverpool. So we don't need to just prioritise one signing. We need a number 10 and a number 9. So we should buy both. And we've got more than enough money to do it. So I'm a bit frustrated by that. Plus, we know that Mourinho had a list from quite a while ago. And we also know that that list was from a couple of months ago, as was Zlatan's injury. So I don't really understand as to why we would be talking about not signing a number 10 just because Zlatan got injured. It makes no sense at all. And also, just to add a little bit of a positive spin to this, there was a credible journalist close to Atletico Madrid 2 days ago saying that we got a transfer ban in Griezmann put a transfer request in, so there's that. And there's also the fact that a couple of journalists I would class being very, very close to Manchester United, one of them last night said that Griezmann's told his close colleagues that he wants to come to Manchester United. So conflicting. And also, I think as many people have said as well, there is also the fact that there's a lot of facts today, isn't there? The fact that Manchester United may well be feeding this out to the press on purpose. So it is very conflicting, Deborah, I totally agree with you, but I've gone live basically to say, look, don't just necessarily believe what the press says. I do think there's something in it, because Di Marzio said the same yesterday, that Griezmann's not first choice at the moment, he's third priority. The BBC saying we've cooled interest. There could be many reasons for that. There could be cooled interest because because of the transfer ban, and Griezmann doesn't feel that he can leave them. There could be cooled interest because Manchester United thought they'd be able to barter with Atletico Madrid, and now they'd have to pay the full transfer fee. But as AP Stevens says, this is just like Pogba, and he is coming. Look, I'm not moving away from what I think. I think he will come to Manchester United. I've got no reason not to think that at the moment. But deals can suddenly stop for all sorts of reasons. But everything suggests that this deal is on track. And I think Manchester United feeding stuff to the press may be a factor. The Atletico Madrid ban could be a factor somewhere else. Griezmann having a guilt conscience, but the reality is, I think most of last week, Monday, Tuesday this week, Wednesday even yesterday, this deal was very much on the card. So what's happened in the last 12 hours to make it not be on the cards? And the only thing I can think is the transfer ban, because the Zlatan thing doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm not going to be one of those people who starts worrying or moaning about Manchester United's transfer plans because Manchester City are doing good business. Manchester City, their season ended 2 months ago. They've had plenty of time to be sorting out their transfer business. Manchester United a week ago, we just won a major trophy we'd never won before. So there's got to be some aspect of that. Griezmann's not coming, said a lot of people say. Well, he's on holiday at the moment, isn't he? No, he's not. He's with the French squad. So I still think he's coming as well. So it's not even joking. Griezmann is surely coming. Look, my personal stance is that he will still come, but I can't confirm that. I've never confirmed it. I've never said that he's definitely going to come. I think everything sort of projects towards that happening. But what I would say is just take both things with a pinch of salt. Manchester United have cooled their interest, according to BBC and a number of other outlets. However, on the other hand, you've got Griezmann's handed in a transfer request on Monday from a credible journalist close to Atletico Madrid. You've also got people close to Manchester United last night saying that he's decided he wants to come to Manchester United. So the only thing that's happened today that would change my opinion on that is the transfer ban, which doesn't prevent us from signing him, but it does kick in Atletico Madrid sort of begging Griezmann not to go. We haven't got anybody to replace you. You know, we really like you. You know, it's an easy life here. You're playing in a pub league apart from when you play Barcelona and Real Madrid. You're our star player. We'll give you a bit more money. The weather's really good. That could fall into it. But as Akrim says, it could well be a transfer strategy as well. There's lots and lots of reasons as to whether the pros and cons would be. But I mean, I know some people are getting a bit annoyed by the transfer window because it can be a little bit, it can flip around a little bit. But just hang in there, see what happens. What I can guarantee you won't happen is if Griezmann didn't come to Manchester United, which is a big if, we're not just going to sign Perisic and Michael Keane and Lindelof. That's not what's going to happen. Manchester United will sign some real top talent this summer. And you know, if worst case scenario happened and we didn't sign Griezmann, who's to say that it wouldn't be a Neymar or a Gareth Bale? There's no reason to say that at all. So transfer strategy, says SN. Lots of people saying Griezmann isn't coming. Some people say that he is. Look, you asked me to go live. I've gone live. And my feeling with it is at the moment that personally I wouldn't change my opinion about Griezmann coming to Manchester United. What's happened today wouldn't change it. I'd certainly take note of some of the journalists saying that it's not going to happen and United have cooled their interest. But even with those, when you dig deep down into it, there is no categoric Griezmann's not coming. Even when I read the BBC article, James Ducker's article, it says Manchester United have cooled their interest. It doesn't mean that they won't sign him in the future, and that is there in black and white. So cooled their interest. Maybe that I heard a decent strategy that maybe Manchester United have cooled their interest till the launch of the new home kits, and then they'll announce Griezmann. I mean, that'd be very hard to do. I must say that would be very hard to do, because how do you keep that sort of thing quiet from people at Atletico Madrid who obviously have sour grapes? I'm sure more will come out in the next couple of days. I'm sure it will. Connor's still 98% sure he's coming. Some people are crying their heart out, and Wazzy Khan says, I still think we'll get him, even though I've really never wanted him. We should be going all out for Belotti, Bale, Matuidi and Jimenez. Are we going to get Michael Keane? Well, we haven't signed anybody yet. I still think Fabinho would be a fantastic signing for United as well. So we haven't actually signed anybody yet, have we? So I don't really understand the meltdown. I think United are doing a lot of good work, but I think there's a lot of negativity, and I think people forget that last summer was very good from Manchester United in the transfer window, as was the summer before. We've had some bad ones, but I think everyone just needs to calm down a little bit. It's only June the 1st. Nobody's really signed anybody, have they, apart from Silva for Manchester City? So I really would say that it's only June the 1st, and we have got plenty of time. I think the Griezmann news is frustrating and it's annoying because everyone just wants it to get done so we can celebrate that signing, and then you get all the bitter rivals sort of jumping on and saying take the L and all this, that and the other. But look, Manchester United will make an impact on this transfer window. I still believe there's a very good chance that we'll sign Antoine Griezmann, but if it doesn't happen, I think the big elephant in the room suddenly now is that Atletico Madrid expected that transfer ban to be lifted. Even I did. Yesterday morning we were getting information that it was going to be lifted. Then in the afternoon it was like, no, it's not. And it gets put off a day and it gets confirmed that it's not going to get lifted. So if it doesn't get lifted, which is the case, that's been confirmed now, it messes up Atletico Madrid's plans. Obviously they were going to sign Lacazette and a couple of others. They can't do that now. So they'll be begging Griezmann to stay. And if Griezmann has an element of guilt in him or feels he owes Atletico Madrid, then that could become the stumbling block as to why Manchester United suddenly aren't interested. But all will come clear. All will become clear. But all I would say is a lot of people, even the people who are saying the deal's been called off now, Manchester United have been working on this deal for a long, long time. And to suddenly switch it off, The Zlatan thing doesn't make any sense because we've known that Zlatan's been injured for a couple of months. The fact that, oh, we don't want a number 10, we want a number 9 now, we're Manchester United and we can fawn all sorts of people. So my message to you lot is just to chill out, relax, let's see what happens. I still personally think Griezmann would happen, but I can understand why I understand why a lot of you don't, but there's conflict in reports. Whilst 2 good outlets are saying it's not going to happen, you've got an Atletico Madrid journalist very close to them saying that it will. You've got people close to Manchester United saying that it will. It's both ways, and that's what can happen. And you never know if the club have fed this out anyway. But thanks everybody for watching. Back tonight at 8:30, aren't we? We've got the Sky Goldbridge show at 8:30, so you can all have your say then. I mean, this is sort of a teaser, really. I'm sort of setting it up for you that tonight at 8:30 you can come on and have your say about the transfer window, the Griezmann deal. I'm sure we'll get conflicting things, but at 8:30 tonight, join us for that, and I'll speak to you all then. Oh, how do I turn it off? I haven't turned it off yet. Oh, and everyone, please do drop a like, because well, I have just run out to do this for you because loads of people are asking, can we get your reaction that's not just in a tweet? So drop us a like and I'll speak to you all at 8:30. And please do call in. Want to get your thoughts. Do you think it's on or off?